What's up guys, Red Devil Ace and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie that has taken the entire world by storm. So much speculation about what's going to be included in this movie, what's not going to be included in this movie, what they will talk about, what they will not talk about, and it all centers around one of the most biggest icons in music, or possibly the biggest icon in music, and that is the biopic of Michael Jackson. Now, there's been a lot and lots of speculation on this movie, and particularly with the life that with which parts of Michael Jackson's life is going to be included in this film. And like most of the trailers have shown, that it's going to take place around the early stages of Michael Jackson's career, and I'm guessing it's from the mid 60s when he was a kid, when he was with his brothers in the Jackson 5, all the way up to around the late 80s, I believe. And it's going to touch on like his rise to fame with some of his most iconic songs to date. And okay, I will say right off the bat, what did this film include any of the allegations towards them when it came to kids in Neverland? No. And was I expected was I expecting to see stuff like that mentioned? No, honestly, because like I said, the allegations that took place against Michael Jackson was in the early '90s, and this film didn't really touch upon that. So if you're going to see this movie specifically for those parts, you are literally wasting your time, but you're not wasting your money, because I will say they have done a tremendous job with this film. Holy shit! The I have never been inside of a theater room that was that energetic and that mobile before. Like, everyone was singing along to the songs, everyone was dancing, everyone was just having a good time, and it felt like more like a concert more than an actual movie, because everyone was just absolutely enamored with what was presented in front of them. And like I said, that since this does kind of take place around the early stages, like I said before, in the early stages of Michael's career, and it's going to in the beginning, it's going to center around his brothers, his father, his rise in the music industry, and then it's going to go into his rise to fame um, as a solo artist. But holy shit, this movie did such a fantastic job explaining Michael's story. Like, from the very beginning, like, you can honestly tell how Michael became the person that he was, and just from the interactions with his brothers, the interactions with his father, and the way that Jafar Jackson did such an amazing job portraying his uncle. It was just an epic film to witness, honestly. And literally, the best way to enjoy this film is in theaters, because it's just everything that was shown. It couldn't have been any closer to right, honestly. And I won't lie, it does show a lot of, like the music videos, him dancing and stuff, and it also shows a good amount of stuff in Michael Jackson's personal life that not a lot of people knew about in the beginning. Specifically, the battles between him and his father. Like, from the very beginning, you could tell right off the bat, just from the first interactions, when Michael and his brothers were dancing in the living room in front of their dad, basically rehearsing. You can tell that he did not have the best of childhoods, honestly. And I think, in relation to how he was treated by his father, why he still kept the same childlike personality all the way up until adulthood, and how he was just so carefree, so happy with everything. And I will say, in the beginning, I feel like the beginning of the film is honestly the best parts of the film, because holy shit, could that little kid sing! Like, oh Jesus Christ! Like, the mannerisms that the child actor for Michael was showing in the film, the way he was dancing, the way he was moving, the way he was singing, the way he was interacting with some of the fans, it was an absolute, oh god, just those scenes are all is just still stuck in my mind. And look, credit to the choreographers, credit to the coaches that helped this little kid bring the young Michael Jackson to life. They did an absolutely amazing job. and them recreating some of the music videos, like the Motown concert when Michael was singing Billie Jean on stage, the rehearsals for the Beat It music video using actual Bloods and Crips gangsters as backup dancers in that movie, which I will talk about a little bit later, and what else? And also some of the concerts, like the Bad concert, they did show that, and it's just everything about it. I honestly, this because of the people behind this film is also the producers behind Bohemian Rhapsody. You can see a lot of similarities between Bohemian Rhapsody and Michael, like just from the shots, the production quality was absolutely stupendous, and just them bringing Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson to life, top notches by the producers, honestly. But I feel like just the absolute love and care in this film, there's you literally cannot take anything away from this film. Like, as a Michael Jackson fan, of course, like listening to Michael Jackson music for 2 hours and just seeing Michael Jackson's actual nephew bring his uncle's spirit to life again, it was, as a Michael Jackson fan, you would have absolutely loved it. I swear to you. But as a moviegoer, like in the mind of a moviegoer that doesn't, particularly like much of Michael Jackson due to obvious reasons that I will talk about later. Like, you can honestly, you can honestly connect with the story and with the themes that they're trying to portray about Michael Jackson's life. I mean, from the PepsiCo commercial, and just him constantly being in conflict with his family, with his father especially. You just absolutely feel the emotion every single time they were on the screen, and I will say, oh, and I did see some of the reviews and like, oh, the film is sanitized. The film doesn't show a lot of the controversies. It's a fucking good film. I really do not understand why people are hating so much on it. It was honestly, like I said, best biopic I've seen, and like I'm a big fan of biopics too. Like, I love The Iron Claw. 42 is always going to be a favorite of mine. The Ali film with Will Smith was actually really good. The George Foreman one that came out a few years ago, that was actually pretty soul touching. If I had to say, um, and of course, Bohemian Rhapsody is basically going to be the direct comparison when it comes to review videos like this. And I will say, from my point of view, I believe Bohemian. Okay, I believe that Michael is a better film than Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, just through and through, note for note, scene for scene, I believe that Michael Jackson is a superior film, honestly. Like, I'm not saying this because, I'm not saying that, oh, because I like Michael Jackson more than Freddie Mercury. I'm not saying that at all. Just from the drama scenes that was shot in both films, the way that the main actor carried the portrayal of the artist that they were representing, the way that the concerts are shown, the stuff that happened behind the scenes that of the lives of Mercury and Jackson that not a lot of the public know about. I feel like more love and care has been put into Michael, honestly. And it's one of those films where I will genuinely watch it again if I could. And as a matter of fact, I am planning to watch it again because it was just that fun, that good of a film. Because just the absolute crowd reaction in that movie theater was unlike anything I've ever experienced in any film. Like, I've been films where, of course, the crowd was really into the film, but never like this. And this just speaks to the absolute star power that Michael Jackson has, even in this day and age. Like, the man may be long gone, but his music is always going to touch people's hearts, and there's no denying that. Now, when it comes to a follow-up sequel, I will say I feel like they've been sequel baiting a second installment after this one a lot. Just from the way, just from the scenes of, with Bubbles, the way Michael constantly read the Peter Pan book, and obviously, talk about Neverland, and we all know about Michael Jackson's version of Neverland. And also just the way that Michael brought people together in one of the roughest eras in American history, especially when it comes to urban life, especially in LA. Like the way that this dude was able to get two rival gangs, not just gang members, but just two rival gangs in general, in one room, all bonding over the same thing despite them being enemies, despite all that. It just shows the way that Michael can honestly connect with people, and you can feel this in the film. And after, and honestly, I shed a tear because of what was shown in the credits specifically, that I think it was like all of Michael Jackson's brothers were executive producers on the film. His sister was also a producer. John Branca, his former manager, was a producer on this film. And just seeing videos of Jafar's uncles reacting to this film just really touched my heart, especially when they said like, "Oh, he did such a good job," and he was like, "Oh, that's not my nephew acting like my brother. That was my brother on screen," and that just shows just how special this film is to a whole lot of people. Whether you're a Michael Jackson fan or you're a movie fan or into dramas or anything, this film really checked all the marks, honestly. And when it comes to the second installment, because like I said before, the first film, or this film specifically, was around starts at 1966 when when the Jacksons were living in Gary, Indiana, all the way to I think it was the final concert of the Victory Tour with the Jackson 5, and then it does a small time jump to London, England when he does the Bad concert. And if they do a second installment, I feel like it will be a lot trickier because they can't really deny or shy away from the allegations. But that's the thing. They're allegations. And I don't think biopics can, or I don't know how else I can say this, but you can't really do a good biopic based on allegations. It has to be, truthful. It has to be factual. So I don't know how the producers are going to work around, or are they actually going to tackle some of these problems in Michael Jackson's life, or or are they going to bring? I wouldn't say bring the allegations to light. It would just talk about them at least or reference them. But some of the stuff that they reference in this film, like if you want dark parts of an artist's life, this has it down pat, specifically from the abuse of his father as well. Because there was one scene that I vividly remember when they were back from a gig and they were all bone tired. The Jackson brothers were all bone tired, but Joseph Jackson is still saying like, "Oh, like we got to rehearse, we got to practice." And Michael was trying to congratulate himself, and this is the kid version of it, mind you, was trying to congratulate himself, and like, we did a good job. Can't we just take a break? And it just hit a bit of a nostalgia because getting disciplined with the belt really fucking sucks. And it sucks even more when he really didn't do anything to deserve that kind of punishment, honestly. And like from someone that's been disciplined the old school ways, you need a really good reason to be disciplined like that. But holy fuck, this dude got disciplined for things that anyone can just brush off. Really, it was not that serious, man. And just like I mentioned before, the trials and tribulations with him and his dad, the way he tries to bond with his brothers, but he still has that childlike mentality, and he never really grew up as a person because he was always in making songs, he was always audition, or I wouldn't say audition, he was always touring, so he never really got to experience an actual childhood. And I do like how they kept that part of Michael Jackson's life intact. And just like him talking to Branca, him and the producers, and also the PepsiCo scene, that was really intense. Like, Jesus Christ. But all in all, honestly, absolute 10 out of 10. And I am planning on watching it again. And it's because it's just that good of a film. So if you really want to experience the best portrayal of Michael Jackson, watch this film. Really. So, yeah, that's going to be my review for the Michael 2026 film. And I am expecting for them to do a Michael 2 or just call it Jackson. I don't know. But that's gonna be it for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Put your thoughts of the film in the comments down below. And like I always say, get the blood boiling, the heart pumping. My name is Red Delace, and I'll see you all next time.